What if I told you that one of the most exciting things you can watch is a Japanese animated film about a basketball game, a teenager's basketball game? Let's talk about the first slam dunk. Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now this one took me by surprise in the sense of I didn't expect to watch this week. This film's been on my list since it came out. It came out late 2022, early 23. Yeah, I heard about this film, a lot of rave about it. It was massively successful, even monetarily. You know, it took in, I think, close to $300 million at the box office, which for a Japanese animated film is really, really good. I mean, you get enough films nowadays. I mean, who'd be happy to have that kind of money? You know, big actiony Hollywood films. If you're not familiar, I wasn't either until I heard people talking. I was saying the animation's incredible, the story, and you really need to check it out. This is based on the Slam Dunk manga series from Japan. To my knowledge, it ran in the 90s. It's about a group of high school students in Japan who join the basketball team, the school's basketball team, and want to win the school championship, basically. That's between all the schools. That's my understanding of it. I haven't read it myself, so that's also a disclaimer, you know, in case you are a fan of the manga. I'm sorry, I have not read it, so I only have watched this one film. And it's my understanding that this film, while it's called The First Slam Dunk, it is actually about the last game that is portrayed in the manga. So it's basically the finale of the whole thing, right? I mean, while I can't really attest to everything that came before, I can tell you it definitely is a very gripping finale. It is laced with flashbacks to give you context, you know, about the characters, used adequately. You know, it's not like half of the film is flashbacks or something, not at all. Yeah, so we get to know, because the film, it seems like it is primarily focused on one of these five guys. His name is Ryota. He's gone through a lot of tragedy, but it's my understanding that the manga itself is about the whole team. And as the film goes on, you know, we get to know the other guys more. The focus basically is always on Ryota. Anyway, what is this film about? I mean, I've already sort of told you, but yes, it's this high school team. They are going up against the big rivals, the team that has been winning for, I think, 10 years straight. So they are always the winners, they're always the best, etc., etc. So yeah, it's this sort of typical underdog situation. And we watch these five guys literally pulling together the last strength they have to try and beat this, right? Like I say, we always have flashbacks showing you the motivation for each of these five guys, you know, for the game itself, but also, you know, the life, what's happened in their lives, to give you at least some you know, some of the character to help understand them. That is basically the plot. So I know it does not sound exciting. We are watching a basketball game, and we're not even talking about you know, world championships or Olympics or, you know, the Japanese men's basketball or women's, you know, big final, if they have something like that. I don't know if they have playoffs like in the USA, but you know, it's not that equivalent. It's the high school equivalent in Japan, you know. So that would make you believe that this is really not exciting, but believe me, it's the most exciting basketball game I've watched ever, and I'm not kidding. I'm not a huge basketball fan. I used to enjoy playing it as a teenager. I still have a basketball, and you know, I'll use it every now and then because I still enjoy it as a sport. But yeah, I haven't seen that many basketball games, but this was really exhilarating from start to finish because they pulled it off really well. Let's talk about the animation first. The animation, to my understanding, is both hand-drawn but also computer generated. Generally, I'll say it's a really cool style. The visuals, at least the faces, reminded me a lot of the style that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has. A bit, you know, just the eyes and stuff reminded me of that a lot. But it's still very much its own thing. It felt like really classic animation, with a sort of slight twist to it, that will be also, I suppose, some of the computer generated stuff in there as well. Enjoyed it generally. I can easily believe that it was necessary to do it on the computer, or at the very least the computer will have made some steps easy, because we've got a lot of fast-paced action. As you can imagine, a basketball game, a lot happens. But while we have, you know, really cool angles and a lot of action happening and sometimes multiple people involved, etc., you don't get dizzy, you know, there's no shoddy camera work, I'll call it. It's all done really beautifully. It's easy to follow the action. You're in the game, even if you don't know what basketball is, right? I'm not familiar with all the rules anymore myself, you know, but it's still very, very easy to follow, which is obviously excellent when you're trying to portray the basketball game. So the animation is really good. It needs to be, because otherwise it won't get you pumped up for these moments when a lot of big things happen, you know. So the animation style is incredible. The characterization is really good as well. I did not expect to go into this film feeling emotional, for instance, but I certainly did. Like I mentioned, one of the characters, he's got some trauma. I could relate to that in some ways as well. So, and that mixed into an exciting, exhilarating basketball game where you would expect most people to say, I don't care about this, I want to get back to the game. But you do care about it because it's done well, it's kept short, you know, it's to the point, and it really just, within just a few moments, gives you great insight into the character and what motivates them, right? And yeah, it's really incredible. So I do believe at some point I probably should read the manga going off of this, because it is really, really, really incredible. And if you're wondering, because usually I do a lot of pictures in my videos, you know, up here, I'm not doing that at the moment. I've got a lot to do. I'm really sorry about that, especially with a film like this that is visually interesting. I'll try and put a few images in to give you an idea of the animation style, but I won't lace them throughout this video. I'm really sorry about that. Once I have more time to do these videos again, I'll make sure that they've got images in them, right? But now, due to time constraints, I'm just limiting it, the production. Anyway, yeah, it's overall, like I say, it's probably one of the most pumped up feelings I've had watching a film, especially a sports film. I'm not a guy who watches sports films, right? All these big American football films and that, I don't really watch these kind of things, right? But this here also, because I do have a thing for basketball myself, you know, from when I was a teenager, so that really speaks to me. It's just I did not expect to be so pumped up for a film. So it's really, really cool. If you get a chance to watch it, please do. As per usual, I mean, it's a Japanese film. It's obviously, the voices are Japanese. If you can, if it's available, I know if it's on a streaming service, sometimes they just don't give you the original Japanese, which is obviously a really big crime. But if you can, you know, watch it with subtitles, you know, watch the Japanese original, because that'll give you the most true experience of this film, which I think is absolutely phenomenal. You can show this to a sports fan, you can show this to anyone who relates to having a struggle, you know, or some goal that seems so far out of reach that you still want to achieve somehow. I think it's a really motivational story as well. Very heartfelt, you know, like I say, I didn't expect to be touched so much by this film, you know, emotionally, but it's just really good. Obviously, I won't tell you how it goes out, you know, there's a lot of tension in this film. So again, they pull it off so well, because you're like, they're not going to get away, you know, they're not going to get back from this. Not possible. Obviously, you know, it's a manga, Japanese, anime, etc. Sometimes a bit over the top, sometimes goofy humor. Perfect. In my opinion, just the perfect experience. So if you can, please, please, please watch the first Slam Dunk. That'll be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about this film, the first Slam Dunk, or if you've read the manga, the Slam Dunk, I think it's not called the Slam Dunk, I think it's just Slam Dunk. Let me know what that's like. Is it worth reading? I mean, I'm assuming the answer is yes, but still, you know, let me know. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care.